Okay.
Okay, we are live.
All right, would you like me to call the meeting to order?
Okay, we are live. You can start whenever you want.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order the Special Financial Audit Committee for Tuesday, September 29th. It is 6:30 p.m. I believe everybody is accounted for, but who is taking minutes tonight?
That would be Mr. Lanzer.
Mr. Lanzer, could you do a roll call?
Yes. Mr. Betcher,
Present.
Mr. Hirth,
Present.
myself, present. Miss Gideon,
Present.
Mr. Donlin.
Present.
All members are present.
Thank you, Mr. Lanzer. We'll go ahead and set the agenda and adopt. Has anybody had a chance, or has everybody had a chance to review it? Do we have any changes or updates?
I would like to add to the agenda the discussion of doing an RFP for our banking services for the village. And hopefully Mr. Donald would be able to speak to that briefly this evening.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as updated?
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, nobody registered to address the committee. Minutes to be approved from Monday, February 24th. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
I move.
Michelle
Then I'll second.
Anna seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving into financial audit operations, Mr. Lancer and Mr. Hirth.
So nothing new to report. The auditor at our last audit requested that we meet at least twice a year, if not quarterly. So this is our second meeting for 2020. We will meet again. It's listed on the agenda, which I don't have up, I believe, and it's in the announcements. Anyway, this fulfills our obligation to meet as recommended by the auditor. There is really nothing new to report at this point. All of the audit obligations and procedures that we had talked about from the previous meeting are in place. And at this point, we see no substantial change. We do expect a hard audit from the state auditor this year, where the actual employees of the state will be coming down to do our audit. We've not heard anything on this, but we'll report to council as soon as they contact us. Mr. Lanzer, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think you covered it.
And then Mr. Donald, would you like to speak on the RFP for banking services?
Yeah, there's a statutory process where we make a request for proposals to banks that serve the community. Ask them to make a commitment relative to our active and inactive deposits for a period of 5 years. Part of that proposal allows us to look at service fees that they're proposing to charge. After we advertise for that, we get their responses back. Then we make a determination who we want to award those to. If we have a large number of deposits, we can split them among various banks, but this will enable us more than anything else to be able to control some of our service fees. There's a real muddied history. I can't really find where we've done this in the last several years. Where we do have a relationship with Fifth Third Bank, but I'm not even sure Fifth Third can produce an agreement that extends into 2020. So it's kind of like we're on a month-to-month with them. So if that's something we want to pursue, what we have to do is determine what those available deposits may be and pass our first resolution to go out for proposals and our second one to accept it. So it's about a 3-month period of time.
All right. Do you just need a motion from this committee, or does council need to approve the RFP?
I think the committee just says we make a recommendation, let it go into the minutes of council, our meeting, and then let Andy and Ron start the process with the advertisement, motion, the resolution, and so forth. But the key part is to know what we're going to ask that we people to accept for deposits.
So, Mr. Donlin, are there templates out there that other communities have used that we can review?
Yes, I'll send over to you the 2 pieces of legislation, the initial piece, the follow-up piece, and what the advertisement looks like that goes into the Inquirer. I'm assuming we do not have any banks in the community, because that's the first round, is to send it to banks that are in the community itself. Other than that, we would send it down to who we think might be interested banks, and they come on to the usual cast of characters around Cincinnati. Sometimes there's smaller banks, but I'm not even sure there is a small bank anymore. So we would put that together, send it out, and then they'll come back to us with proposals.
Okay.
And typically in my experience in the industry, they'll ask for analysis statements or things like that just to review the activity. They don't necessarily need the debits and credits, so to speak, but they request an analysis, which just shows the average collected balance and the amount of transactions in a month cycle. So sometimes they'll ask for 6 or 12 months. So I would maybe recommend being proactive and getting ahead of that with if we can get that from Fifth Third showing the analysis statements, if that's a thing for them.
That's a good suggestion, because we could put that in the ad that these are available at request at the office of the fiscal manager, fiscal officer, so everybody gets the same information together.
Ms. Gideon, would you be able to pull that information together for us?
So we just talking about deposits for a month and withdrawals for a month, and you want that for 6 to 12 months per account.
Yeah, typically for business banking, for banking accounts that are for businesses, excuse me, part of the statement package, if you will, that's available is called an analysis statement. That like I said, it doesn't show check numbers and check amounts and things like that, but it'll show like a summary for the month's activity. So how much was deposited, how much was withdrawn, the total transaction volume, average collected balances, and things like that. We do it at my company. I'm not sure if Fifth Third does it. I would imagine that they do, but I just don't know that it's called the same thing. So we might have to contact Fifth Third, whoever the connection is there, to see if that's a thing with them.
Okay, I'll look at the reports I can find and then see if it has.
So one of the side benefits I would hope that we would gain from doing this is it seems that our bank fees are growing, and we need to do some things proactively to try and contain that. So I think it's a timely opportunity for us to take advantage of those.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
When you say it's an RFP, is there like a clearinghouse that all banks look at when you put this out, or are you sending it to specific banks that you choose up front? How does that work?
Usually you'll send it to a group of banks that are local, and then you'll post it in the Inquirer. So the banks that may not have received the letter will have it from the Inquirer. Again, some communities, they'll initiate it if there's a bank office in their community itself. If there's a Fifth Third branch, they'll send it to Fifth Third. PNC, they'll send it to PNC. Without us having any bank in the community, we're pretty much open to choose who we want to, as a courtesy, mail it to, but everybody else relies upon that publication.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All right. Any old business, new business, or announcements?
The only announcement we would have is when we are set to meet, which, Mr. Lanzer, I think that's in the minute template that you have, and I don't have that open. I apologize.
I'm looking now.
I don't see it in there.
I don't see it either.
But if we're gonna put an RFP out, should we probably plan to meet in December to review those?
Well, if we need
Well-
to meet, we can. Generally, we don't want to schedule extra meetings in the month of December.
Ron, would it be a problem if we schedule it for the last council meeting in November?
We can do that.
I think that makes the most sense. Gives
Actually,
us,
do that.
gives
Well,
us plenty of time to get it together and
All right. Oop. So that would be the 23rd of November.
let me see. That's correct.
Okay.
At actually at 5:30 p.m. because we'll have a finance meeting at 6. Well, actually, we should probably just send this to finance committee on the 23rd.
Say that again, that last part.
We will send this to the finance committee on
Okay.
November 23rd.
All right.
Yeah, since we're audit, it's more within their bailiwick to deal with the prospective of getting the proposals in. To put it on their agenda, and then our normal follow-up is usually once every 6 months, or I don't think we're quarterly.
On the audit committee,
Yeah,
yeah, we were trying to do it quarterly, but I think that's probably ambitious, especially with the COVID issue. I believe I'm recommending, and I did not put it in the minute template, that we meet in February after the close of the year.
that's fine. I think that's when our last meeting was in February.
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah, so tie it to the February second session.
Works for me.
already.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good evening. We'll see you guys soon.
Great, I'm gonna end the meeting and then sign back in for council at 7. Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks.
Bye. Night.